Good morning, YouTube. Louie here, and happy Sunday. On YouTube, I'm seeing a lot of angst about people wondering where to sell their precious metals when the time comes. And I'm here to show you, you may want to bookmark this video if you are newer to precious metals and you are properly thinking about how you might sell it someday. Never buy something that you don't know how you're going to sell when the time comes to sell, whether it be gold or silver or maybe platinum. So let's go through the ways that you can sell your gold and silver and relieve some stress here. There are dozens of ways to literally sell your gold and silver. Let's go through them so we don't get more worried about that. So, selling precious metals. All right, well, here's something you shouldn't do. Look for a sign that says, "We buy gold." Maybe it's a pawn shop, or, oh, I don't know, maybe it's just a "We buy gold" store, or it's a kiosk. Okay, scratch that one. You're not going to do that unless you, I don't know, you're looking to buy drugs or something and you're that desperate. Let's move on. All right, local coin shop. Now, you probably have a local coin shop in your area. Some of us have 2, 3, 5, 10. Get to know your local coin shops and always ask them what they are paying for silver eagles, gold eagles, generic silver, and generic gold. Okay, that's all you need to know, those four things. You can call around wherever they are, and or you can visit each of them. Now, I do recommend picking a favorite local coin shop, one that's fair and honest and has pretty good prices. Probably not as good as we'll find on the internet, but you just want to know your local coin shop and you want to develop a relationship. And clearly, many of those will have decent buyback prices on your gold and silver. Keep a list, keep a journal of this on what the coin shop or shops are paying for those four items, and track it over time. As premiums change, their buyback prices will change. All right, always reference Kitco spot price. There's a buy and a sell price. Always reference that because I think 9 out of 10 will use that when they tell you we will buy a Krugerrand at 2% below spot, for example. That'd be a pretty fair deal these days. And that's going to be on the Kitco ask, not on the Kitco buy price. So local coin shops, there are plenty of them, and are they declining? Yeah, I think they will be declining because they're being debanked by our overly cautious government and banking industry, so there'll probably be fewer of those. But if you don't want to go that route, or you have ones near you that are not fair, let's move on to the next one on the list. Okay, the big dealers. Big dealers, and I'm going to go through several here. JM Bullion, Bullion Exchanges. Here's Scottsdale Mint. That may not be on your radar. Here's SD Bullion. There are 4 sites right off the bat that will buy your gold and silver. Now, the way these work is you look for the Sell to Us page and Sell to Us online. You click on that. And in this scenario, and this is the best scenario, now I don't like their buyback prices, but the best scenario is you're able to lock your price when you agree to sell. They'll give you 10 minutes to lock your price. So if you wake up one morning and silver is $50, and it's going to happen eventually, you should prepare for it. You can log into any of these sites, all 3 or 4 that I'm going to show you, and when the moment is right, you can lock your price, and then you have 10 minutes to think about it. If it drops from $50 to $47 in 10 minutes, you can still lock that price. And you can agree to sell something. Let's say you want to sell your Sacagawea gold coin. They're paying $22.56 for that. You just log in to sell. Hopefully you have an account there. You indicate you want to sell it, and then you go through some of the questions. You have to decide how you want to get paid. If you're going to be paid electronically through ACH, that's generally free. If you want a check, they may charge you for that. And if you want insured shipping labels, they're going to charge you for that as well. I don't think Bullion Exchanges provides insured shipping labels, but where was I? Oh, JM Bullion does provide insured shipping labels. And if you're, to do this, you want to sell a few $1,000s of metals to make it worth your while and pay for that insured shipping label. Or you can ship yourself, and if you're going to ship yourself, I recommend registered mail as the only way to truly protect yourself, but that's another video. So, yeah, there will be some fees involved, and you will have to ship. And when you do, it'll take whatever, a week to get there. They'll log it in, they'll say, we've got your metals, and it'll probably take you a week or two to get your money. Longer if you want a check. That is JM Bullion. Right now, their buyback price on Gold Eagles is $33.72. Their buyback price on Random Year Silver Eagles is $37.83. When you sell these guys something, you should probably not try to trick them or send them cull Silver Eagles, when they're supposed to be BU Silver Eagles. It'll specify in the listing here what quality, generally it'll specify what quality of coin they're looking for. If you send them a Sacagawea coin with a big ding on it, you're probably going to get a phone call. So, but 9 times out of 10, you've got good looking coins and you just want to sell them. And so that's how that'll work at JM Bullion. If you sell to bullion exchanges, I do not believe that they provide an insured shipping label. Correct me on that if I'm wrong. They're only paying $33.45 for a Random Year Gold Eagle. They're paying $38.04 for a Silver Eagle. And when it gets down to, this is really the way to compare them, is generic 1 ounce rounds. Well, here's a 5 ounce bar, about the same probably. Yeah, here's a 1 ounce round. They're paying $2 below spot for 1 ounce rounds. They don't indicate if those are BU or not, so I'm not sure. You'd have to call them about that. 5 ounce bar the same, 10 ounce bar the same, kilo the same, 100 ounce bar the same. As you buy these things, you'll typically get a better deal on the bigger bars, and just know that there is a way that you can offload multiples of 100 ounce bars. Now you can get better than $2 back a spot. Bullion exchanges is not paying all that great, but there are some examples for you. Moving over to Scottsdale, I did a sale to them recently. I happen to collect Scottsdale silver when I can get it at a good price, and it went flawlessly. They provide an insured shipping label at a price. I don't remember, 25 bucks or something. So again, you're going to want to sell, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 at a time to kind of absorb that price. And I sold them Scottsdale product, which they pay $1 back of spot on. Okay, Scottsdale gold, they pay a 1% back. So if you get a good deal on Scottsdale gold bullion, your buy-sell spread would be pretty good there. Generic gold, they pay 2% back, so you can unload all your generic gold at Scottsdale if you want to do that. That's not an uncommon price, 2% back, whether it be rounds or bars, in assay, out of assay, Krugerrands, etc. Now, gold eagles, gold buffaloes, U.S. Sovereign usually brings a higher price, and I would not take 2% back of spot on a sovereign U.S. gold product, with commemoratives possibly being the exception there, but I digress. Scottsdale silver, good little outfit. Okay, SD Bullion has a sell to us page, and they also will lock your price. They're paying 40 cents back on Random Year Silver Eagles. Again, those should not be cull, or you'll get that phone call. They're paying $2.75 back on 1 ounce rounds, so that the bigger the dealer, often the worse the buyback prices. If you're loyal to any one big dealer, well, don't be. Come on, this is your money, this is your silver. And here they're doing $3 back on 100 ounce bars. Bullion exchange is much more fair there. Okay, but again, they will provide you an insured shipping label. You can transact through your bank account. You could ask for a check. Check their fees and how you want to do that, depending on where you are. Here we have on YouTube, there's a number of dealers. There's only 3 I recommend. Those are Vermilion Enterprises, Minot Coin and Bullion, and Coin Huskers. All right, there are different flavors on all 3 of these. Now, Brian over at Vermilion, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't watch his videos every day, but he will buy your gold and silver. He has very good buyback prices, I think especially on silver. And but he will not lock your price. So when you send that to him, you're going to get the price on the day that he receives the package. All right, so that's one thing to consider. And I'm sure that he'll do a check or whatever you need there. I don't think he does ACHs, but I could be wrong about that. But he does not lock his price, and he does not provide an insured shipping label at a cost. Moving over to Minot, I don't recall his rules or not, but Minot Coin and Bullion is a good, honest bullion dealer on YouTube, recommended by thousands of people, and they've got a great reputation, and they will buy your gold and silver. I don't know what they're paying, and I don't know whether they provide insured shipping and when they lock the price. So I'll have to be agnostic on that one. Coinhuskers, on the other hand, is also a very reputable coin dealer, and you can trust them. They will lock your price, and they will, I believe, provide you an insured shipping label as well. So check out Coinhuskers. I think the buy prices on all three of these places are just fine and very competitive with the big dealers. All right, another place that you may want to go to buy or sell is Reddit. I don't do Reddit. I don't like Reddit. I've never liked Reddit. I think a lot of jerks live over on Reddit for some reason, and I think it's a dangerous way to sell your. But there's a PMs for sale page, and if you are able to disguise your identity, disguise your location, disguise your email address, not give out your phone number. I mean, you have to realize that emails, phone numbers, addresses, obviously, can all trace back to your home. And if you pick the wrong person here, you can expect a home invasion. So I do not like Reddit or Facebook or Instagram or wherever you guys are all buying and selling metals. I ain't that desperate, and that's not for me. Okay, pure precious metals. In the chat room of my website, bestsilvergolddeals.com, everybody loves Pure. Now, it is a pain in the butt to sign up on Pure. They're going to ask you, for all your personal information, and it's actually very obtrusive. But once you do it and you get an account there, you can sell on Pure Precious Metals or buy there as well. They're currently paying $22.50 for the Sacagawea. People have good experience with Pure. Now, I'm not an expert on that. If you want to know more about Pure, you can go into my chat room. You can chat it up with their founder. He has videos as well on YouTube if you want to search them out. They're good for buying and selling. To me, I've never done it. I was very put off by the registration process. And there's some protections there as well, and low fees, okay? Low fees on Pure if you want to sell there. I don't know their rules for 1099s, etc. All right, another way to sell is eBay. Here we are on eBay. So if you have a highly collectible coin, let's say that you want to sell, for example, something you've put away for a while, a good example of something I just sold was the gold flowing hair gold coin, not graded, just raw. To do that, to get maximum price from people looking to buy such things that don't want, some people shop on eBay to get things that when you buy them at the big dealers, you're getting the seconds, you're getting the grading rejects. Any dealer that grades, you should be suspicious of their raw coins because they've already been sorted through, and the really, really nice ones have been sent off to PCGS, NGC, to get a smoking label, and then they're going to make $1,000 more on that coin. Some people like to buy on eBay, and if you want to maximize your returns, eBay is often the way to get the most for your desirable precious metal. If it's just a run-of-the-mill Krugerrand or whatnot, you'd be foolish to sell it there. You'd take that to the LCS, get 2% back a spot, and walk out with a check. Okay, but if you have something that is really, really desirable, you may want to sell it on eBay. Now, most people complain about high final value fees. Now, eBay, if you have not sold there before, will charge you a listing fee. It is very small, but they will charge you a final value fee. And if you sell in the numismatic category, it'll be very, very high. If you sell in the bullion category, it will be lower, but still very, very high. 10, 12, 14%, huge fee. So if you want to sell on eBay, the first thing I recommend is getting some feedback, sell some things around the house that are not precious metals, build up enough feedback to prove that you're not a disreputable, fly-by-night. After you've done that, well, the first thing you'd want to do is open an eBay store. All right, the eBay store is a way to drop your fees from 12-14% down to, I think it's about 8%. Where is the listing here? Seller Center, choose a store subscription, so anybody can do this. And there you go. Okay, the starter is worthless. What you would want is the basic. You can buy that month by month for $21.95. So if you're selling a $5,000 coin and you don't want to pay 10, 12, 14% fees, you set up a store subscription for 1 month, costs $22, and then you'll get a lower fee of 8 or 9%. Once you are really rocking on eBay and you have a high seller rating, that drops a point or two. So that's how eBay works. You don't need the premium or the anchor. You just need the basic for 1 month, and then dump whatever you're looking to dump, and then be done with it. But you will need to have some reputation there to do that. And if you buy and sell a lot, well, that's really easy to do. Now, the other upshot on eBay is what is this? Oh, there's the store subscription. The other upshot on eBay, which will turn a lot of people off on, is there are very, very low limits for 1099s. And this is why people don't sell a lot on eBay. And it used to be you could sell there all day long and you wouldn't get a 1099. But these days, if you sell more than $600 in a year, you're probably going to get a 1099. A 1099 is a tip-off to the IRS that you have a taxable transaction. If you have a taxable transaction and the IRS knows about it through a 1099, you have to file a Schedule C. If you have a Schedule C, then you're going to be able to write off your expenses, but you also have to record your profit and loss on the sale of precious metals, and you will get an ordinary tax rate on that. You'll pay ordinary tax percentages on that. So it's a path that many people don't want to go down. And once you have a Schedule C, you probably want a business license. You may have to report sales taxes collected by eBay. That's the reason I only sell on eBay, is they do all the sales tax calculations, sometimes incorrectly, but I have no control over that. But they withhold the sales tax, and therefore I don't have to worry about what the tax rules are in Minnesota, for example. And being in California, it's highly intrusive here, and they could come after you for not reporting sales tax. That's another reason I don't sell on Instagram or Reddit or Facebook. At some point, the people selling there are going to get a knock on the door from the Franchise Tax Board, and they could potentially owe thousands of dollars. And this is why you see dealers tightening up their sales tax rules. Even if you sell in Minnesota to a California buyer, that's going to get on somebody's radar, and that's why you see some of these $2,000 minimums for sales to California, because they don't want to deal with the sales tax reporting requirements, even if they're not in California. The sales tax is triggered by where you buy from, not where you sell from. And some dealers fly fast and loose with that, and I won't go into who those are. You can email me if you want more information about that. But anyway, so be wary of the 1099. You don't want one. The big dealers, I've never gotten one. I've sold to JM. I've sold, never sold to bullion exchanges. I've sold to Scottsdale. I think I've sold to SD Bullion. I've never gotten a 1099. Of course, my sales are never over $10,000, so I suggest you split those sales up if you have that much to sell. Keep it under $10,000. I think then you won't draw as much attention. And I don't know if and when, if ever, they issue a 1099. I've never gotten one from the big dealers, so if you're worried about that, I wouldn't worry so much about that. I've never gotten one from a local coin shop as well. And when you walk into a local coin shop, depending on the state and depending on what you're selling, they may need to track your information because they operate by pawn shop rules. Others do not, and if you're selling sovereign U.S. coins, often they don't need anything from you, and you'll just walk out with a check, and there won't be any reporting at all. But that's a complex topic, so study that as well. And ask your LCS, hey, is there going to be, you going to report this purchase to the government? And hopefully they say no. But if you're selling $100,000 of, silver buffaloes, then you're going to get a different response. Okay, that's what I have for you. So please don't worry so much about selling gold and silver. There are so many ways to do it. And, when you do it, you want to maximize what you can sell it for, and you want to sell it to somebody reputable. You don't want it to get lost in the mail, and you don't want to get ripped off or be targeted somehow. So that's basically it. And will that be different in 5 years? No, I don't think so. I think there'll be fewer LCSs around just because the old guard is dying out and they've made so much money on their inventory. It's a good time to sell the whole place and move on. But yeah, it is kind of a dying industry. And hopefully you live in a bigger city and there'll be more than one. Again, if you develop that relationship, they'll tell you what's going on. And someday, if grandma dies and leaves you, a coin collection or something, you want to be friends with those guys because that's, probably where you're going to liquidate something like that. So do your homework there. Be serious about precious metals, not only when you buy, because that's when you make the most money, but also when you sell. And I hope this video was helpful. Check back here if when you get around to selling, if you want to bookmark this, and you can see all those places and 100 more places you could sell as well. So no panic. Okay, this is just part of the hobby. And like Turbo Stacking said the other day, know where you're going to sell it before you buy it. Okay? All right, guys. I'll see you later. Thumbs up if you like this. Subscribe if you want to see more. And get over to the website, bestsilvergolddeals.com, if you want to know where the cheapest deals are on the buy side. I'll see you guys.